me versus Canelo is a very good fight. I'm the bigger man. I have the longer reach. Look who he lost to, Dimitri Bivol, a bigger man, 6 foot.
If you and Jake fought, how long would it last?
Not that long.
I will pay homage to him because fair play. If he jumps in there with Canelo Alvarez, he'll get absolutely fucking destroyed, and it will be fast and it will be messy, and it will be bad for his health as well, potentially.
I can't give Jake Paul any more compliments than I'm giving him. All I said was he'll never be a world champion and he'll never beat Canelo Alvarez.
The boxing world is abuzz with news of a potential July showdown between Jake Paul and Canelo Alvarez. Paul has long pursued this fight, claiming his size and reach would make for a compelling matchup. In an interview, he stated, "I think I could be fighting Canelo Alvarez for the WBC or UBDO championship belt." Confident in his ability, Paul envisions a 200-pound bout for the Cruiserweight Championship. This shocking announcement has left the boxing community stunned, as many never expected such a fight to materialize. Fans are now eagerly awaiting further developments.
Me versus Canelo is a very good fight. I'm the bigger man. I have the longer reach. Look who he lost to, Dimitri Bivol, a bigger man, 6 foot.
If you and Jake fought, how long would it last?
Not that long.
Would you play with him a little bit? Would you carry him a little bit first?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I think that people is gonna enjoy it. For me, not right now because I'm chasing other things in my career, but we never know.
Jake Paul took to Twitter to announce his biggest fight yet, stating, "It's time," and confirming a long-awaited showdown with Canelo Alvarez on July 5 in New York City. The news sent shockwaves through the boxing world, as Paul has been chasing this fight for years, and now it's officially happening. Gervonta Tank Davis reacted bluntly to the announcement, tweeting, "IDG, I'm looking for flowers," appearing unfazed by the matchup. While the boxing community debates the fight's legitimacy, Tank remains focused on his own career. Paul, a YouTuber-turned-boxer, has been vocal about his desire to face Canelo for years. In a 2021 interview, he boldly claimed, "I think I could be fighting against Canelo Alvarez for the WBC or WBO championship belt." Initially met with skepticism, his ambition and persistence have kept the conversation alive. Now, with the fight officially set, fans eagerly anticipate what could be one of boxing's most unexpected matchups.
You said that you'd like to go up against Canelo Alvarez. What gives you the right to call out a 59-2 boxer, one of the greatest of all time, when you've not yet proven yourself?
I'm predicting what's going to happen
In
3
the
more years from
3
now.
years, so 3
I'm going to
years.
get to his skill level and beat him. I have one of the greatest self-belief systems in the world, and I know what I'm capable of, and with this new team, I can give Canelo a serious run for his money.
In November 2024, Jake Paul faced boxing legend Mike Tyson in an 8-round heavyweight match at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Despite Tyson being 58, the fight drew massive attention. Paul won by unanimous decision, with judges scoring it 80-72, 79-73, and 79-73 in his favor. This victory added a legendary name to Paul's record, boosting his confidence and solidifying his growing presence in the boxing world.
Champion. And then for your girlfriend Yuta to win Olympic gold.
Yeah, we just have all the belts
That's insane.
in the world.
That's crazy.
And then we should just retire after that.
So look, are you happy with your performance in the fight? Are you happy with the way the night went down?
I wish he would have, put up a better fight, so then I could have risen more and done more. And he was surviving.
He was.
So
Before you went out.
it's worked up. But I think that everybody just wants him to win. Wanted Mike to win. But
Dude, people really don't like us, Jake. People really want to see you get knocked out.
yeah, what did I ever do to anyone?
Well, you climbed on top of the KTLA news van.
Hilarious.
You wasted the government's money
How?
because the FBI had to raid your house.
They wasted their own money. They wasted their own money.
can't believe
Why would they do that? I didn't. And then nothing ever came from it. They didn't even know what they were doing there.
Canelo Alvarez has a packed schedule ahead, with a highly anticipated fight against Terence Crawford set for September 2025 in Riyadh, generating major buzz in the boxing world. Initially, he was expected to face William Skull in May, but reports now suggest he will instead take on Jake Paul in a high-profile bout. This decision, bypassing Skull or Christian Billy, highlights the commercial appeal and intrigue of a Canelo-Paul showdown, drawing attention from both boxing purists and casual fans alike.
All right, let's do this. Canelo versus Crawford, confirmed. Not a rumor, not speculation, not he said, she said, or someone leaking the story. Confirmed. And I guess the confirmation doesn't get much more rock solid than the Ring Magazine putting this story out first. Ring Magazine, obviously owned by Turkey. Turkey would have been the one to put this deal together, and Turkey would have had to give the green light for the Ring Magazine to even put that story out. That's as confirmation as you need it. That's it. The fight will happen in September. Touch wood, no injuries. Wow. Easily the biggest fight of 2025. I said a few days ago, Benavidez Morale was my most intriguing fight of 2025. Obviously, that's now been put down to second place because this has been announced. Nothing can be announced to top this.
Canelo Alvarez has dismissed Jake Paul's challenges, stating he is focused on his own career and unbothered by Paul's call-outs. He emphasized that he doesn't need the fight and has no interest in what he sees as a spectacle. This stance aligns with boxing analysts' views, who suggest Canelo sees a matchup with Paul as more entertainment than sport. Despite the buzz, Canelo remains uninterested in engaging with Paul's ongoing pursuit of a fight.
Would you ever do like exhibitions like that, or like people like Jake Paul call you out, or these like other big stars? Like, is that business-wise like even worth it?
When I'm done with boxing, why not? Maybe I do it. I think it's
Like when you're done like competing at the highest
Yeah.
level, you're saying?
Yeah, I think it's good because what happened there is other people who never watch boxing, or they don't know anything about boxing. They wanna watch Jake Paul because he's coming from he bring fans from other world, right?
Yeah.
That's good because everybody enjoy it.
Would you ever entertain that idea when you're done?
Maybe.
ESPN has reported on the potential Jake Paul versus Canelo Alvarez fight, noting its potential as a massive event. Paul's recent bout with Mike Tyson, despite Tyson being in his 60s, added a legendary name to his record. Facing Canelo, one of boxing's greatest, would mark a significant step up in competition for Paul.
Canelo Alvarez versus Jake Paul in May. That's what ESPN, ESPN in Spanish is reporting. ESPN in Spanish does 1,000,000 times better than ESPN in English when it comes to boxing. It's just factual. So I really trust their relationship in the boxing world versus the American counterpart, that it's always hit or miss. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they take sources, they don't source where they got it from. But ESPN in Spanish is saying it's very serious talks between Canelo Alvarez and Jake Paul to fight in the USA in May. And it's going to be a joint promotion from Canelo Promotions, from MVP Promotions, and from PBC. I've heard about this fight about 5 months ago, that there was talks about it happening. I couldn't really run with it because it didn't look like that was the direction, but anything is possible. And Jake Paul did tease that he has a big announcement in January. So this may be the big announcement he was working on. But what do you guys think? Canelo and Jake Paul. Jake Paul's been in boxing 5 years. Canelo Alvarez has been in boxing since he was a kid. Been a professional since he's 15. He's fought the likes of Mayweather, Cotto, Danny Jacobs. So many off the top of my head. Pero Angulo. He fought Munguia, Berlanga, and Austin Trout, and so many legends on his resume. Shane Mosley and James Kirkland. And Canelo worked very hard to be at the position that he's in. A 4-division champion and undisputed at 68. And him and Jake Paul, marketing-wise, would be a massive, massive fan. Everyone knows Canelo is a rock star. Everyone knows Jake Paul is very popular. It's hard to top Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, but if there's one fight that could top it, this may be it. So it's going to be interesting. And Jake Paul, he shared the ring with Mike Tyson. And a lot of people want to see revenge. Even Canelo said that he would fight him in revenge for Mike Tyson. So this may be on Netflix again. And if it is, that was a movie. They really invested everything.
Instead of facing William Skull or Christian Billy, Canelo Alvarez has chosen to fight Jake Paul in July, a decision that has surprised many in the boxing community. UFC President Dana White weighed in, calling it an easy payday for Canelo, implying he could earn more fighting a legitimate opponent while questioning the competitive merit of a bout with Paul. Boxing legend Floyd Mayweather also criticized Paul's aspirations to fight Canelo, arguing that Paul would be overwhelmed by Canelo's skill and experience. Mayweather stated that Paul shines only until he faces a true fighter who can actually compete at the highest level. This assessment highlights the massive challenge Paul would face against a boxer of Canelo's caliber. While the fight generates buzz, many experts remain skeptical about Paul's ability to compete with an elite champion like Alvarez.
Jake Paul, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
Have you been impressed?
But one thing I like about him, one thing I do like about him, he's selling it. He's selling it, and he's making good money, and he's entertaining. I like it.
Is he? And Floyd, there are many people who believe you're the most talented fighter ever. Period. So whatever you say to this question, I think is important. Are you impressed? Does he have boxing ability, or is he just an entertainer who has a lot of fans and can promote a fight and has fought lesser opponents, or is he actually talented?
As long as he continues to fight MMA guys and YouTubers, he's gonna continue to look good and shine. But once he fights a real fighter that can really fight, it's not gonna be that good.
Does he have the ability, with what you've seen, to continue to mold himself into somebody who can actually? He told me before his goal is to fight Canelo, so that's where his mindset's at.
He get fucked up by Canelo. Oh, I'm sorry, it's TMZ.
You can curse. You can curse.
I apologize, but
no apologize.
There's no way he get demolished. But for what he's doing, as long as they keep getting YouTubers and keep putting them in there with MMA guys.
Legendary Mexican boxer Julio Cesar Chavez weighed in on the potential Canelo versus Jake Paul fight, acknowledging that while Paul lacks Canelo's skill, he isn't without ability. Chavez suggested Paul could hold his own to some extent, implying the fight might be more competitive than some critics expect.
Jake Paul's not been shy about wanting to fight Canelo Alvarez one day. Do you think we'll ever see that fight?
Difficult to make the fight for the weight difference and promotions.
Scale 1 to 10, how far away is their skill set right now? 10 being Canelo, let's say 0's the bottom. Where's Jake Paul on that scale?
Maybe 7.
He's that high?
Maybe 6, 7, yeah. I think of Jake's like not a great skilled boxer, but he's very strong and he can box. So 3 or 4 more fights, he can fight anybody.
Former world champion Andrew Ward shared his thoughts on Canelo Alvarez's reluctance to fight Jake Paul, suggesting Canelo may not want to be part of what he sees as a spectacle. Ward noted that Paul's background as a YouTuber and entertainer, rather than a traditional boxer, factors into Canelo's hesitation.
I understood where Canelo's coming from. Anybody for that matter. If, like you said, if you've been in a fire, how dare anybody come to me and act like I'm supposed to fight you? And you're a YouTuber that turned to boxing, and I'm a champion walking around here, and y'all acting like I need him. Do you think they're justified in feeling annoyed when people come at them like that about Jake Paul?
I understand completely where Canelo's coming from. If I was an active fighter, I wouldn't entertain it either. When you in the fire and you still in the game like that, you got real issues and beef going on. You got real opponents, like dudes that can really hurt you, that you need to figure out how to beat them and when we gonna fight and all that kind of stuff. I don't have time to entertain the circus. I don't have time for you to have my name even associated with a dude that ain't really a fighter like that. So I understand completely with it. He ain't got a lot of time to entertain that kind of stuff. But you know how it goes, Stephen. And people say they're not interested in something until that number get large enough and all of a sudden start making a lot of sense.
Retired British boxer Carl Froch has been openly critical of Jake Paul's ambitions, calling him absolutely useless in the ring. Froch expressed disbelief that Paul, after fighting Mike Tyson, would seek a bout with Canelo. He suggested Paul would be just one punch away from defeat, highlighting the vast disparity in skill and experience between them.
He'd mentioned me before, and there'll be people out there saying, oh, Carl Froch's talking about himself, he's after a payday. Listen, I'm not after a payday. I'm doing all right. There's no problems with my finances. But I'll take the fucking payday, of course I will. And I'll end Jake Paul with one punch. I'd go in there one-armed and beat this guy. He can't box. He's absolutely fucking useless, which we saw last night with Mike Tyson. Talking about Canelo Alvarez. I've not mentioned Canelo Alvarez because it's just laughable. Jake Paul, Canelo Alvarez. Can you imagine? I mean, if Jake Paul fancies that and he jumps in the ring with him, I will pay homage to him because fair play. If he jumps in there with Canelo Alvarez, he'll get absolutely fucking destroyed and it will be fast and it will be messy and it will be bad for his health as well, potentially.
Jake Paul remains confident that his fight with Canelo Alvarez will happen, and that he will shock the world with a victory. He believes he has already proven his doubters wrong, citing wins over Tyron Woodley and Anderson Silva as evidence of his skill. Paul emphasizes that people often think he's crazy until he proves them wrong. He has also suggested that Canelo needs him for a payday, claiming his popularity will make the fight financially lucrative for both. Following his recent victory over Mike Tyson, Paul has been vocal about his desire to face Canelo, believing that defeating the Mexican champion would solidify him as the new face of boxing.
Do you have a call out in mind, or are you kind of just going to see where it takes?
No, I mean, I do. It's Canelo. This moment will prove that I'm the face of boxing, the largest attraction. Me versus Canelo at 200 pounds for the cruiserweight championship is the biggest fight, arguably even bigger than me versus Tyson, and it makes so much sense. And, you know, Canelo's on his way out. He's going to want a payday, and I want to show the world that all the shit I've been talking about beating Canelo is actually true, and I'll have the biggest upset in the sport of boxing, and we will fight to really see who is the face. After this event, I'm going to be claiming it. I beat his gate record. I'm beating the ticket sales, all of that stuff. So I'm going to be the new money man.
In response to Jake Paul's challenge, Canelo Alvarez confidently stated it would take Paul his entire life to knock him out. He expressed assurance in his own abilities, appearing unbothered by the challenge.
Could you kill me in less than 10 seconds, theoretically?
Could be.
Yes or no?
Yes.
1, 2.
Nah, I'm not gonna kill you right now. I don't got problems.
You had to fight Jake Paul on limited rounds, but after every round, Jake Paul gets all of his energy back. How long would it take for him to beat you?
His whole life.
Do you respect him at all?
I respect everybody.
So that was a soft no.
No, I respect everybody, you know. He's doing his thing and it's fine.
You had to play a round of golf with anyone throughout the course of time.
Tiger Woods.
But on the 18th hole, you have to knock them out. Who would it be?
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods. So you're comfortable with fighting him and knocking him out?
No, because I like to play with him 18 holes. Maybe I skipped and knock him out, but I already played with him.
Who's the most Mexican person that is not from Mexico?
You know the guy, what's his name? He married with a Mexican girl. Actor.
¿Es Momoa?
Yeah.
¿Aquaman?
No, the guy made el muchacho este que hizo una película que se puso muchas partes de animales también.
Rob Schneider.
Canelo Alvarez also mentioned that part of his motivation for considering a fight with Jake Paul is to avenge Mike Tyson's loss to him. Jake Paul's victory over Tyson was met with skepticism, as many believed the match was fixed. Similarly, when Paul announced a potential fight with Canelo, doubters emerged once again. Even if Paul were to win against Canelo, concerns would persist that the match was rigged, putting Paul in a difficult position. KSI weighed in on the potential fight, stating that Jake Paul will struggle and eventually get knocked out, predicting a tough defeat for Paul.
Jake Paul said he's going to beat Canelo, that he's going to be the world champion. What's your reaction to that?
I think that's all cap, man. I think Jake will struggle and will eventually get knocked out by Canelo. He'll just get found out. But I think I'll just finish him off anyway. When I get to him, I think I'll just end his whole charade.
Eddie Hearn also weighed in, expressing his belief that Jake Paul could never become a world champion and would never be able to defeat Canelo. Hearn stated, Jake Paul can never be a world champion, and he can't beat Canelo ever.
Really got under his skin. You know, I can't give Jake Paul any more compliments than I'm giving him. All I said was, he'll never be a world champion and he'll never beat Canelo Alvarez. Do you agree with that?
I don't think he'll beat Canelo.
Do you think he'll beat a world champion?
Oh, it depends. There's people, well, you know how I don't want to say anybody can be world champion, but that doesn't.
To beat, I said to him the other day, you can't just get a vacant belt.
If it's, it's very difficult.
A world champ, like.
No, I don't think so. Unless it's at a weight where it's a weak division, but the odds are stacked against it.
You're even contemplating him.
Oh God, look, who like Fielding was a champion, like Eddie, like
he wouldn't beat Rocky Fielding in a million years.
Maybe not. I don't know. You don't give much stock to Rocky Fielding, though. Like,
I'm saying he wouldn't beat Rocky Fielding in a million years. So I give, Rocky Fielding. Like you talk about, Jake's not a fighter. What is wrong with these people? It's amazing the job. I could probably beat Jake Paul. That's how bad it is. And Tommy Fury might beat Jake Paul. But I love Jake Paul. I think he's great for boxing. He's just taking it very personally that I just said he won't beat Canelo Alvarez, which is remarkable. But I love what he's doing, and I love his passion, and I love his belief. I'm just giving my opinion. It's not. I'm not.
He said all the greats have to have that belief.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That's what he tweeted. Did you read the tweet? Because someone called him delusional for thinking that. And
Marcos, how long have you been around boxing?
12 years.
Do you think at 24 years old or whatever it is, with no boxing experience, you go, I'm going to go and beat Canelo Alvarez, all right? See you in a few years.
Your prediction for the fight? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to check out more videos for the latest updates right here on Fight Night TV IBS.